I'm Justin Mott, real-life photographer, Leica user, guy that wears weird hats, former reality TV show host for 5 years on a TV show on History Channel Asia that you've probably never heard of called Photo Face Off. I'm a wildlife photojournalist and editorial photographer, assignment photographer. I've shot over 100 assignments for the New York Times, and I own and operate a commercial photography and video production company called Mott Visuals out of Vietnam, working globally. My channel is dedicated to all things photography from the perspective of a professional working photographer. And today I'm going to talk about the 5 biggest misconceptions about photographers. This should be fun, and this should also be very therapeutic for me, so let the session begin. So before I get into those misconceptions, if you guys can take a moment and like and subscribe, that really helps the channel out. It really helps me out. It helps my ego out, which is also me. I'm also my ego. So if you could do that, thanks. If not, I guess that's okay. It's pretty rude of you. Could just do it for a second. I won't go into my whole spiel here on what I'm selling. I don't sell a lot of stuff, but I do have a couple things that do help fund this channel. So if you're interested in such things, you can say I offer a basic, simple preset that I promise you will not make you better, but it'll add a little pop to your photos. I have a basic preset for $4.99. I also offer $99 1-hour one-on-one Zoom sessions that you can book directly through my website, where we can do a portfolio review or talk about your business or just talk about any questions you have about your photography career. And I do sell prints that ship globally starting at $99 with free shipping worldwide. Okay, enough of that stuff. Let's get into what I'm here to talk about today, and that is the 5 biggest misconceptions about photographers. Number 1 on my list today is gear makes us better. Does it? No, it doesn't. People always say that to me. Oh, you must be good. That's a good camera. All right, here, really, take it. No, honestly, here, let me give it to you. You take it. You take this really expensive camera, this really good camera that makes me better, and see if it makes you better, and then come back and talk to me. A good camera or good gear doesn't make a bad photographer a good photographer. It doesn't make a good photographer a great photographer. It just doesn't work that way. I mean, yes, it's nice to have good equipment, but it doesn't make us good. It's not what defines us as a photographer, so stop saying that. Even you photographers out there that believe it, if I get that next camera, that's the difference. That's what's holding me back. No, you're holding yourself back. The fact that you think that a better camera is gonna make you better, that's what's holding you back. Because it's not that, it's you. You're not out there working enough. You're not out there trying enough. You're not out there building on your skills. You're not getting better. The camera's not gonna make you better. It's not. I know it sounds weird coming from a guy that has a very expensive camera here. I've seen awesome cameras attached to really bad photographers. The camera didn't do anything. It just sat there. It didn't make them better. They were still bad. And the next camera, they were still bad. Good cameras don't make you a good photographer. It just doesn't work that way. And number 2 on my list is the one we hear all the time, and people love to say it because of camera phones and because of Instagram. It's, nowadays, everyone's a photographer, right? No, they're not. Everyone can take a picture, but not everyone's a photographer. It's just like cooking. I don't know why I always do these parallels to chefs, but I feel like there are a lot of parallels, except I think that they're a little bit meaner and a little bit more divas than we are, and I'll get into that later. But I can boil water and make pasta, but I'm not a chef. So no. Just because you have a camera phone and just because you can put stuff on Instagram doesn't make you a photographer. It just means you know how to take a picture. It doesn't mean you know how to take a good picture. It just means you actually just know how to press a button. So congratulations, everyone out there now can press a button. That is true. Let me give you some examples. So can everyone out there plan and execute a commercial photography shoot based on clients' unrealistic expectations? How about a wedding, right? Everyone's a photographer. Everyone here's your camera, go shoot a wedding. So can everyone out there go out there and shoot a wedding for 10 plus hours and be on your feet the entire day and not just take beautiful pictures of the beautiful ceremony, but at 11 p.m. can you take beautiful and creative pictures and do this all with a good attitude while you're lying on the ground of the alcohol-soaked dance floor trying to get a creative angle of Uncle Ned's crazy dance move or Carla's drunk antics? Well, what about freelance photojournalists? Can everyone do that? Can everyone research a story, get difficult access, put themselves in danger, all the while also getting a creative, cohesive story that also fits within journalism ethic that's going to be shown around the world the next day, so you've got to file it on deadline? Can everyone do that? So is everyone really a photographer? Let's not throw that phrase around. And number 3 on my list today is that photographers are all difficult to deal with, or that we're all divas. Now, this is actually going to be hard to digest, because if you've watched my last 2, you're like, yeah, point proven. You're a diva. You're difficult to deal with. We're not. This is just like me venting on YouTube. In person, I think we're often polite. I think there are, don't get me wrong, there are photographers out there that are very difficult to deal with, but don't let them ruin it for the rest of us. Not all of us are difficult to deal with. You make us difficult. Yeah, you, the one watching this that's hired a photographer, that's sitting in their ear with suggestions, with creative ideas, with, oh, what about this? Have you tried that? All that. We know what we're doing. We're under a lot of pressure. We're under a lot of stress. We get a lot to think about. We're thinking about technically what's going on with our camera, with our light. We're thinking about the final image and how it works for you. Trust me, we're not just out there randomly taking snaps. For those of you who know me, we don't take snaps. We take photographs. And yes, some of us lack people skills because we often work alone. We're in our little world where we're planning and editing pictures and sitting in our little dark room with our screen. That's not an excuse, but I'm just telling you, and often there's a lot more into it than you saw. We've been up since 4:30. Maybe the shoot started at 7, but we've been up since 4:30, prepping the gear, getting out there. And then guess what? When we stop shooting at 7 or 8, our night's not over. We're going back to our room. We're backing our photographs up. We're looking at our dailies. We're making sure everything worked well. We're charging all of our gear, making sure everything's ready for the next day. So we're still working until 10, until 11, sometimes later. That also brings me to the dailies, when clients want dailies, like, oh, can you send us some samples? It's not that easy. Like, is it necessary? Maybe the first day because you didn't trust us completely, but like day 5, do we really need to still be up to 11 making sure that we sent the right daily because we don't know how you're going to perceive it, even though we have a shot of the model looking this way and this way, but we chose this way, but you want this way, and it's going to turn into a cycle. We'll do that after. We know what we're doing. A little trust is necessary. Like sending dailies is extra hours of work that night, then the next day, the discussion. Like, I get it for a shoot that's like a billboard shoot or a couple shots. I understand that. But if you're doing like a shot list of like 15 shots a day with numerous angles, for us to go through all that and then deliver it to you and then have the feedback, and then we don't know who you're going to show it to and what they know about the shoot, what they don't know about the shoot, and it's going to turn into a lot of headaches. Trust us. We've done it before. That's why you hired us, I hope. We've done this before. The stuff on our website didn't magically appear there. We did that. We did it for that client, and they were happy. So let us make you happy. Number 4 on my list today is one that I get all the time. I still get it at this point in my career, but I got it a lot early on in my career. It's like, yeah, but what do you really do for a living? What do you really do for money? Like people not believing that photography is your job, that it's just your hobby. And it is a hobby for some people. But guess what? Some of us do it for work. Some of us, that's all we do for income, just photography. Can you believe it? It's kind of insulting for the ones that do it for a living for you to say like, yeah, but what do you really do? And I get it. I'm almost not blaming the people that ask it. I'm going to blame all the other photographers out there that fake it. And yes, it's a lot more prominent here in Southeast Asia where I live. We have a lot of expats that are photographers. They're really English teachers. And before the hate starts, I have nothing against English teachers. If you're an English teacher and that's your profession, that's fantastic. But why do that and say you do something else? You ruin it for the rest of us. If you're an English teacher and that's where you make your money from, just say that. It's okay. But no, they all want to put that on their Instagram. They all want to introduce themselves as like, well, I'm a photographer. But you're not. You are when you make your income from that. Or, I mean, if it's balanced, I'll give you the hybrid. You can say I'm an English photographer, English teacherographer. I can't come up with it. See, it doesn't even work. You got to choose. Pick one. You're an English teacher or you're a photographer. You're not both. Or you're an English teacher who likes photography. That's okay too. Or you're a photographer that likes teaching English. That's okay if you make your money from photography and you teach English on the side as a hobby, although it doesn't really go that way, does it? It's not just that I have to field that comment from people, of people assuming that that's not really what I do, which is annoying in itself. It's more that since you've lied and you've taken on a professional shoot and you've failed because you didn't know what you're doing and you pretended you were a professional photographer without any clue of what to do, you just thought like, I like taking pictures, so yeah, let me take on this assignment. No. So the headaches come from that, is I've shot after you people all the time, like a lot. I have to deal with all the clients' insecurities, all the things they were traumatized, and I don't blame them, they were traumatized. They paid some photographer that said they were a photographer when that's not really what they did, and they got bad pictures or a horrible experience. They didn't know how to work in a professional atmosphere as a photographer. It was a mess. So then they come when they hire me, and they're like, expect me to be you, but I'm not you. I'm me. I am a professional photographer. So instead of me focusing on what I do best, I've got to deal with all their insecurities that they have from you. So stop doing that. Again, I'm not even blaming the client. I'm not blaming you average person out there. I'm blaming the fake photographers. Knock it off. If you want to be a photographer, that's fantastic. Do it. If you want to be an English teacher, great. Do it. If you want to be an English teacher, that also likes photography, fine. But don't lie to yourself, or lie to yourself. That's okay. Just don't lie to the rest of the world. Do it or don't do it. Okay, next. Number 5 on my list, that all it takes to be a photographer is talent. BS. It takes a lot more than talent. In fact, you don't even need to have talent. Photographers love to tell you this because it sounds better. It sounds a lot cooler to say, I just had a talent for it. I just had an eye for it. It's like it helps a little bit, but the most important thing about photography is to have a good attitude, to have drive, to have ambition, and to never be complacent and to never get cocky. You have to keep pushing yourself. You have to hustle. I'll take that over talent every day of the week. So if you're not talented right away, don't worry about it. It's not like athletics. It's not like the NBA. You don't need to be 7 feet tall and have amazing athletic skills. You can be okay at it and improve, and you can pass people that are talented easily with a lot of hard work and a lot of drive and a lot of ambition. Hardworking photographers get work. Talented photographers that don't work hard, that don't have drive, that don't have ambition, they're the ones that write bitter comments in the comment section. So there, I said it. That's all for today, guys. I am currently in lockdown in Hanoi, so I have plenty of time to answer all your questions, so keep them coming. I love hearing your hilarious stories. I love the dialogue we're having back and forth. It has been fantastic. I've got time in my hands. I've got a lot of things to say, so I'll probably be releasing a lot more vlogs a lot more frequently, and I'll do my best to keep them interesting and entertaining. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful day. Take it easy and stay safe.